Kkottongnae is covered with a thick white blanket of snow after the heaviest snowfall in years. But even the harshest winter could not extinguish the light of hope with spring just around the corner. There's a shared faith that love can make the driest trees turn green and the coldest hearts warm. The flower village is getting ready for another spring that will bring forth hope and happiness. Kkottongnae's 25th spring brought good tidings to its people. And nothing has given greater pleasure to these kids who were abandoned by society and their families due to their handicaps. The School for Severely Handicapped Children is finally opened in Kkottongnae Flower Village.
마음이 가난한 사람들, 그들은 하늘나라를 차지하리니 배품이 다하면 아무것도 더 베풀 것이 없을 때 마음의 가난을 느끼죠.
The school was built by those humble in spirit, those who constantly give but do not take. Maybe that's why the school is filled with love and with little angels who never tire of learning new things. Kkottongnae is a lake where creeks of love flow in and stay. Its history dates back to 1976, when Father Oung Jin, newly appointed to the Kumwang Church in Unsang, North Chungcheong Province, came across a beggar named Che Kkottongnae. Old Man Che had been feeding 18 other handicapped beggars for 40 years. It is through the grace of God that I'm strong enough to beg. Father O was greatly moved by his words and decided to carry on his spirit of love. He then built the House of Love with 1,300 won, which was all he had. It was the beginning of the village. Right now, Mr. Hong Sung-ok, who is blind, and his wife, An Sang-boon, who is cerebrally paralyzed, are the residents of the house. These two are the first generation of the village who used to live with the old man Che. Father O brought them together and married them.
얼마예요?
3,000원인데. 3,000원인데.
원래 또
Mr. and Mrs. Hong always go to the market together. Mr. Hong never wastes a penny earned by begging, and he is now beating down the price as usual.
4만원 500원 남는 거거든요. 1,000원 깎아달라고요?
네. 조금씩.
7,000원.
뭐? 하나. 뭐? 오, 좋네.
이거 저는요.
7,000원 드렸습니다. 1,000원 깎아달라고 했죠?
네.
1,000원 더 드릴게요.
The fish shop owner, after some hesitation, generously gives a discount of as much as 1,000 won. But this couple is not saving money just for themselves.
안녕하세요.
예, 안녕히 계세요. 그래 15년 동안 내가지고 뭐 100만 원 이상 남겨 모았지. 모아가지고 먹을 거 먹지 못하고 저 뭐야 모아가지고 그 100만 원 그 84년 3월인가 며칠 날 애들 다 잊어버렸는데 그날 저 미사하는 데 갔다 늦지. 신부님이 방송국에다가 나보다 더 불쌍한 사람이 있다면 가져가라고 방송국에 내놨다 그래요. 근데 가져가는 사람이 없더래요. 그래가지고 도로 신부님을 들이더래요. 그래가지고 그 알코올 주방 지는데 거기다 했던 거지.
Mr. Hong's original bank book at the National Credit Union is evidence of every penny he saved by begging. He gave all he saved to help build the mental nursing home in Kkottongnae. He wanted to give back what he had received to those more in need. The nursing home serves to nourish both body and soul of beggars suffering from alcoholism and other illnesses. Those who were deserted and dying on the street are now living a new life here that is truly priceless. Every building in Kkottongnae symbolizes the hearts of Mr. Hong and many others who want to be the light and salt for needier neighbors. At an athletic meet for all nursing homes in the North Chungcheong region, Kkottongnae families ran harder than anyone else. They were no longer alone. They felt happy and fulfilled, even though they finished last in the race. Kkottongnae's 25th year, another building was added to the mental nursing home. Every time a new building is completed, the people of the village feel that God's love is with them and is growing larger and larger. It's a sunny spring day. The train platform is bustling with little angels from the Flower Village Nursery. Though they do not have their natural parents to hold on to, the children are excited about this trip. Their inner wounds inflicted by their heartless parents seem to be healing little by little. They now have mothers who will never leave them or desert them. The Flower Village has divided children into groups with a foster mother for each group so that they can have a home of their own. They now have brothers, sisters, and a mother. They eat together and bathe together. A real family bonded by love, affection, brotherhood, and sisterhood.
또 사랑해요. 아직 가도.
엄마 안녕히 주무세요.
네.
Good night, Mommy. I love you. They can say the word Mommy as much as they want. They can be hugged and cuddled as much as they want. They can now feel the warmth of their mother.
네. 가두세요.
Another comfortable night because their mother will still be there in the morning. Today, they all move into a fabulous new house. The kids seem to be bursting with energy. Not only do they have a new mom, but also a new house and new rooms. Many families will be living together under the roof of this newly built Mangdong Nursery. Their faces are lit with bright smiles, for they are no longer alone. It is now summer, with the trees all wonderful shades of green. Summertime is all the more precious to these people because they can work harder. Early in the morning, Mr. Pak Soon-sik climbs the hill to the statue of the Virgin Mary with Grandpa Bae Dong-soon in his wheelchair. They are old friends at the Flower Village and always start their day with prayer. Grandpa Bae, famous for his smile, is the most respected person in Kkottongnae. He used to beg in front of Myeongdong Cathedral. His deep religious belief has stayed with him throughout his trying life. He was brought to the Flower Village in his later years. Grandpa Bae, who has difficulty in talking, tells his story with Brother Pak as an interpreter.
할아버지 그런 기도 생활이 힘들지는 않으세요?
He was abandoned by his father as an infant with cerebral paralysis. He made his living by begging in front of the Myeongdong Cathedral. Though tragic, his story brings peace and emotion to his listeners.
할아버지는 이렇게 살아오면서 이렇게 남을 미워하거나 그런 마음이 저희는 되게 많이 들거든요. 만약에 아버지가 저를 버렸다면 저는 할아버지처럼 못할 것 같은데 낳아주신 분이 어떻게 미워하시는지 정말 정답이네.
It's because he forgave, through love and prayer, and without any conditions, his cold-hearted father and his cruel lord. Those who came to take care of Grandpa Bae leave with greater love in their hearts from what they have learned from him. Since he moved here in 1983, Grandpa Bae has been writing his autobiography with help from others. He's doing this to let people know how he could lead a blessed life through all his trials. Mr. Han Soon-chun's day starts by bringing the newspaper to Father O and polishing the father's shoes. According to him, the best thing that ever happened to him was coming to the Flower Village. He never hesitates to tell how he came to live here.
예, 제가 그 전에 옛날에요 간경화에다 하혈에다가 이 식도 정맥 혈관이 막 터지고 그랬었어요. 한 5년, 4년, 3년 전에요. 그래가지고 제가 다 죽어갔었는데 이제 박정남 타데오 스님이 저를 이렇게 하느님께서 불러주셔가지고 여기를 인도해 주신 것 같아요.
Every morning he shows up at the warehouse to check on the goods and necessities that have been donated to Kkottongnae. Who would think Mr. Han, the housekeeper of the Flower Village, was once a beggar on the street who was almost dead?
그래서 알코올성 간경화증 그리고 아주 말기였죠. 그래서 식도 정맥류 출혈을 계속해서 아마 희망이 거의 없는 상태였습니다.
Mr. Han, who does the job for 3 men alone, is no longer sick. He doesn't have time to be sick. How can he, when all the people who cannot go on a day without him? He was the first person in Kkottongnae with a driver's license. This license gave him the courage and belief to know that he was capable of doing more things than he thought possible.
힘 안 들어요.
그래요?
예. 그전에는 일을 하면 드럭드럭 했었어요. 그러니까 한 8년 전에 약이 끊어졌거든요. 그러니까 한 9년 전에 한 1년 정도는 여기 드럭드럭 식도정맥혈관이 막 드럭드럭 했었어요.
근데 일을 하지 않으셔도 될 텐데 이렇게 일하시는 이유가 무엇이세요?
저는 일 안 해도 괜찮아요. 여기 이 꽃동에는요, 가족은 일 안 시켜요. 원래 정식으로. 근데
왜 하세요?
저는요, 솔직히 그래요. 몸도 낫지만은 아프기 전에 저는 뭐든지 나보다 더 못한 사람이 많아요. 불쌍한 사람이. 그래서 내가 어떻게 해야 저를 도와줄 수가 있을까? 그래서 마음적으로 그래요. 하느님께서 나를 치유를 이렇게 해주셔서 모든 것을 나도 내주고 싶고.
What brought him back to life was neither a doctor or medicine. It was his love toward his neighbors who needed his help. Maybe his illness sprang from the lack of a chance to love and to be loved. That is why he volunteers to serve as everyone's servant.
어떻게 살고 싶어요?
그냥 이렇게 살고 싶어요. 봉사하고 싶어. 내가 열심히 이렇게 조금이라도 이렇게 해주면 여러 사람들이 조금이라도 보탬을 내가 해주면은 사는 게 아닌가 이렇게도 가죠.
행복하세요?
아이, 좋습니다. 아주. 난 제일 좋아요. 난 다른 데 가려도 못 가요, 난.
알았어, 들어줄게.
Miss Cha Jung-suk passes by the name Boram's Gran at the Adok house. For 10 years now, she's been raising Boram with cerebral paralysis since she was 3. Boram was deserted because of her handicap, but is the center of attention here for the same reason. She gave the spark of hope to Miss Cha, who had no one to take care of or to whom people could turn. Even if you think you have nothing to give, you can still become the meaning of somebody's life. That is what love is all about, according to the Flower Village. It's a quiet, hot summer afternoon. A man is climbing the hill with a heavy load on his back, looking exhausted from the heat. Mr. Kwan Bok-man sharpens knives. He visits every kitchen in Kkottongnae, and every knife in town passes through his hands. He ran away from home at an early age and lived on and off the street since then. He had become an alcoholic when he came to the Flower Village. You may wonder why he's doing this hard work. But to Mr. Kwan, hard work is what makes his life worthwhile. As God says, to sharpen iron, you need to wet it on iron. And to become a decent man, you need to mingle with other men.
난 그래서 난 항상 인생 평생이라도 어려서부터 이 농촌에서 살고 모든 걸 많이 저기 해왔기 때문에 서로 남이 힘들으면 내가 저만큼 힘이 드는구나 그런 생각으로 해서도 내가 좀 도와주고 그래.
Mr. Kwan quit drinking after he joined the Flower Village. Once he needed alcohol to forget about his distress and hardship, but those days are now long gone. Instead, he found his own way to live a good, healthy life with the love of his neighbors. He is grateful for every moment that he can dedicate to help others. He is now intoxicated with the joys of life.
주방장님 뭐 이런 것도 해주면 주방장 칼이 잘 들어서 좋아하고 또 내가 혹시 가끔 가다도 저기 하면 아저씨 참 칼이 잘 들어 고마워요 소리 한마디 듣기도 좋고 모든 게 다 좋습니다. 그죠?
누가 뭐래도 사람이 꽃보다 아름다워 이 모든 외로움 이겨낸 바로 그 사람 누가 뭐래도 그대는 꽃보다 아름다워 노래의 온길 품고 사는 바로 그대 바로 당신 바로 우린 참 사랑.
The House of Hope is home to handicapped people.
여기 걸레 마른 거 거주세요.
With the light breeze blowing and sunshine in the afternoon, people seem carefree, folding clothes or playing Korean chess. It is the last day of August, and the night of literature is about to begin in the garden of the house. The volunteers are busy preparing for the event. Everyone is performing their last rehearsal, and they all seem anxious and nervous. This is the perfect chance to show the world that the Flower Village families are capable of accomplishing more things than the world thinks possible. That is why tonight's event is even more special. Kkottongnae people may appear to be weak, but they are eager to share what little they have with their neighbors. For 50 years, the only body part Miss Kim In-ja can move has been her toes. The biggest task she faces is preparing meals for other family members. On a busy day like this, she has to feed more people than usual. Maybe she's gotten a little older. She thinks that it used to be easier.
옛날에는 나 먹고도 세 사람을 더 먹여줬는데 지금은 못해서
Society thinks that those who are handicapped as severely as these people can't do anything on their own. But they show the evidence of the miracle that nothing is impossible once you set your mind to do it. The sun sets over the mountain, and the night of literature begins. Tonight, the members of the House of Hope will be showing others what they prepared for months. From reciting poems to staging a play, dancing and singing, it will be a surprise-filled night for many people.
나의 존재가 소중하기 때문에.
서울! 아이고 넘어지겠네.
어떻게 하면 좋을까요?
행복합니다. 나는 행복합니다.
Gathered together to share the most precious moment in their lives that they themselves never imagined possible before. This is nothing less than a midsummer night's dream for people at the Flower Village. In the middle of Gapyeong County in Gyeonggi Province, another flower village sits quietly deep in the forest. There's another House of Hope, and its family is going out to swim on a hot summer day. The small stream that flows through the flower town is all theirs throughout the summer. They seem so carefree and innocent, playing in the stream as if they are cuddled in the bosom of God. Gapyeong Flower Village, blessed with a forest and streams. It opened in 1989 with a religious couple donating a plot to build a home for needier brothers and sisters. Since then, a number of beggars and vagabonds from the metropolitan area were brought here and have settled here. Beggars dying on the street are brought to the hospital in the village and receive proper medical treatment. Though short in facilities, there is never a shortage of earnestness and devotion. Doctors treat their patients with love, and a variety of rehabilitation programs help these people recover from inner wounds and hurt. In this way, the people are learning to get back in touch with the world that once turned its back on them. They may or may not know what they are drawing now, but they are obviously enjoying themselves. Though they have nothing, they can laugh heartily because now they have a family to depend on. The word family gives them the confidence and courage to face the world. Even hanging out clothes has become fun. Family is like a wall to lean onto, a fence to protect you from the outside world. It feels relieving and reassuring to have your family near you. Maybe they can even try to understand their biological families one day. Love truly becomes larger when shared. The apple trees in this orchard are all donated. The apples have finally started to turn red. The families at the House of Hope longed for the fall, fighting magpies in the orchard all throughout the summer. Brother Fruit and the families give thanks to God again and again from the bottom of their hearts. A tree is similar to a person in that it bears better fruit when given more attention and love. This seasoned cameraman is actually one of the brothers. Every brother and sister here has a role to play for the people of Kkottongnae. They treat cavities, drive the ambulance, hold funerals, and cook meals. Young women gave up marriage to become nuns and work in the flower village. Doctors gave up their individual careers to enter religious life and take care of the village people. One by one, those who came at first as volunteers took vows and stayed. The buildings originally built for volunteers are now home to brothers and sisters of the flower village. They just couldn't leave the needy people behind, so they took vows and decided to work for them for the rest of their lives. This is how the Kkottongnae Flower Village Order has come into being, with over 300 brothers and sisters. The village people had been shunned and despised all their lives. It wouldn't have been easy to instill in their minds the courage and joys of rebirth to a new life unless these brothers and sisters became a part of the village. people were the great believers of Jesus' words, "Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends." They laid down their lives for the Flower Village, and in return gained resurrection of life in God. The Virgin Mary Hospital in Yeouido, Seoul, another helper of the Flower Village, works here. Mr. Song Cho-soo volunteered to become a nurse for patients from Kkottongnae, a job most people would frown at. He just couldn't bear to see the Flower Village people lying in the hospital with no one to look after them, when other patients were surrounded with families and friends.
저기 김씨를 좀. 안녕하세요.
He helps ambulant patients as well as inpatients.
시원하게. 시원하다. 저기 꽃동네는
월목으로 차가 오거든요. 근데 17일 이후에 오셔가지고 아마 그 입원할 예정으로 이렇게 보고 있는.
He meets doctors with the patients and does all the paperwork for them. But it is never easy to take care of sick people.
예. 어느 때 힘이 지치고 정말 일이 많고 이런데도 때로는 뭐 돈이 생기는 것도 아니고 무슨 명예를 얻는 것도 아니고 어떤 때는 정말 일을 열심히 해놓고 난 뒤에도 지적을 당하고 막 야단맞고 이럴 적에는 어찌할 수가 없죠. 그러나 그 순간 지나고 나면 그게 또 은총으로 와닿고 저를 미워하거나 싫어서 그런 것이 아니라 그것도 성숙시키기 위한 그런 과정으로 이렇게 봐지기 때문에 시간이 흐르고 나면 더 함께하는 것 느끼고 이래서 기쁜 생활 속에서 이어진다고 이렇게 볼 수 있습니다.
He was once a sailor, living a fast, reckless life. One day he was hit by tuberculosis, and the lower half of his body was paralyzed. Had he not been ill himself, he wouldn't have been able to understand what these people go through. He was reborn through a deep belief, and taking care of the Flower Village patients is more important than anything else to him. Mr. Song often comes to church to pray for a fast recovery of patients. Why has he taken this path strewn with trials?
물론 사람이 힘들 때도 있고 어려울 때도 있는데 그 힘든 과정이 지나면서 또 하나님께서 기쁜 마음으로 이렇게 바꿔주시니까는 하루하루 새롭고 어제 틀리고 오늘 틀리고 이래 하는 것 같으니까 그 기쁜 마음으로 살아갈 수가 있습니다.
He curls up to catch some sleep. He rarely sleeps so he can take constant care of serious patients. He prays that he can go on helping and taking care of the Flower Village families until the day he dies, just as the late Miss Kim Young-sun did.
그러니까 여러분들이 이것을 큰 박수로 성원해 주시기 바랍니다.
The volunteers at Adok House organized a small birthday party for old ladies of the Flower Village. These ladies never knew what a birthday party was before they came here. Now, they are having a lot of fun thanks to brothers, sisters, volunteers, and families. Flower Village people no longer think they are deserted. Rather, they believe that God has invited them all to this feast of love.
너무 감사합니다. 남기고 박수.
We are all one family, bonded strongly together with love. The Kkottongnae office in Seoul. Father O celebrates Mass here once a month for another group of workers who support and care for the Flower Village. People gathered here are the members of the Flower Village support group who have put their life's energy into this work from the very beginning of Kkottongnae.
무엇을 어떻게 할 것이냐.
그냥 이거 쓰세요.
For 20 years, the members have eyewitnessed that a small amount of money can bring great happiness to the village people, so they never hesitate to give as much as they can. With an earnest appeal from Father O, the members started to gather beginning in 1981 to help those who did not have the strength to feed themselves. Their number has grown to the surprising figure of over 1 million. Early in the morning, Miss Kkottongnae heads for somewhere in a hurry. She collects membership fees from Kkottongnae supporters who are too busy to come themselves, as well as to recruit new members. This morning she visited Dongdaemun Market.
꾸준히 도와주셔서 고맙습니다.
Merchants here who work all through the night do not seem to have time to worry about the flower village. But with the help of Miss Pak, they never forget to pay a monthly fee for Kkottongnae members.
어른도 어떻게 너도 있구나.
Miss Pak used to own a shop here once. She started sending clothes to the flower village in 1985 and has continued her ties to the village to this very day.
거실로 드려야 되는 거거든요.
제가 이건 진짜 제가
아이고
여기
이거
앞에요. 167.
아 괜찮아. 적지 말고요. 그럼 이건 찬조금으로 해야겠구나 오늘. 예. 앞으로 계속 내실 건 아니지? 회원이 되시는 건 아니죠? 회원 되실래요?
Miss Pak is an expert at recruiting new members. She seems to have succeeded again today.
라도 다닐 수 없는 그 힘없는 사람들만 모아놓고
돈은 어떻게 매번 똑같은
매달 뭐 많이 안 내도 되니까 2,000원씩 내시지 뭐. 2,000원씩.
시아가 얘기를 하더라고요.
응, 2,000원씩 매달 하는 거니까.
지금 5,000원 낼게요.
오늘 5,000원 내시고. 그럼 여기다가 제일 집안에서 누구를 위해? 아이고 여기는 뭐 불교 믿는 사람, 뭐 개신교 믿는 사람 다 해요. 5,000원으로 할까요? 2,000원으로 할게요. 그래서 액수가 적어도 계속 꾸준히 하는 걸 저희는 원하거든요. 야네들 때문에 내가 이렇게 식구가 늘었어요. 꽃동네 식구가.
Nothing makes her happier than seeing supporters grow one by one.
고맙습니다.
맨날 쓰고 있는데 커피도 한잔 대주고.
어려운 계속은 지가 해야 되는데.
The merchants at the market say they are the ones who should be thankful to Miss Pak, because she always reminds them that there are people out there who need their help and support.
김성균
Donations collected by Miss Pak and other recruiters are delivered to the Kkottongnae office in Seoul on that day.
이걸 왜 세면정예로 했냐면은
The names of supporters are written on the cement sacks. These people are not merely sending money, but also love.
이건 안 찢어지니까 그래서 세면정예로 이제 1년에 한 3번은 갈아요 이거를.
There's an old saying that 4 eyes see more than 2. It is people like Miss Pak that make Flower Village miracles possible. They keep working hard in the background, whether they are recognized or not. These people are the driving force behind Kkottongnae. However, these benefactors say that they owe a lot to the Flower Village for making their lives worthwhile. In this hectic, bustling world, it's comforting to know that people still care for each other and share love. Maybe that's why Miss Pak's face is always lit up with a happy, bright smile. On the front of the Training Center of Love in the Flower Village hangs a sign that reads, "Happiness comes from a contented life." Is it true? And why do we need to love others? Since the center opened in 1997, many students have come in an attempt to find the answer. Some of them come on a school journey, and some of them come for volunteer work. But the purpose of the center always stays the same. That is, not to let another person be deserted on the street. The Training Center of Love gives students the chance to learn about true sacrifice and love through the stories and lives of the many who have joined the Flower Village. They learn ways to lead a fulfilled, happy life through the spirit of old man Che, who had nothing in possessions but gave others so much. They learn the importance of not possessing and not dominating, but rather valuing other people. They learn the great power of love and peace that comes from overcoming hardships and difficulties. They also realize that love becomes even more powerful when it is shared with friends and neighbors. Your beginnings will seem humble, so prosperous will your future be. The story of how the Flower Village was started by a lowly beggar and a young priest is now becoming known throughout the world as a symbol of love that transcends race and nationality. Every student visiting the Flower Village comes to realize that even while they are endowed with so much more than the Flower Village people, they are much more discontented. The moments of discontent and despair are found in those lacking in love. At this center, they are awakened to the fact that through their indifference and ignorance, they can drive another person out onto the street to die. If you give love from the bottom of your heart, you can rekindle the light of hope. This is the true spirit of the Flower Village. This is why we must go on giving love. Students are yelling and shouting on the playground of the Kkottongnae School of Welfare Work. It is the athletic meet of the fall season. They are running as hard as they can. They came to this school in an effort to dedicate themselves to the welfare of needy people. The Kkottongnae School of Welfare Work opened in 1999 with support from many parts of society. It was established by the combined work of Kkottongnae and the voluntary foundation of the Cheongju Parish. It is an educational institute committed to producing welfare workers who can reconcile theory and practice by making the most of the more than 20 years of history at the Flower Village. But above all, students will be taught that the keynote is to fear God and to love our neighbors who God loves. It is never too late to learn. Sitting next to young students are welfare workers who came back to school after years at the front. Age hardly matters when their passion for learning and serving people in need is even stronger than that of their young classmates. During vacations and holidays, students of the Kkottongnae School work at many welfare facilities like the Flower Village. It is a good chance to gain hands-on experience and apply what they've learned in the classroom. The Kkottongnae School of Welfare Work is growing to be the cradle of a number of talented welfare workers with drive and compassion. On the 25th anniversary of the Flower Village in the fall of 2001, many people from all over the country came to congratulate its families and celebrate the achievement together. Singing joyfully hand in hand, the people gathered here seem to be saying that love is the greatest power that can help us overcome any hardship. It was a feast brimming with warmth and hope. God said, "If you take in these little ones under my name, I will not let them be lost." So penny and penny laid up became many for God's little ones in the flower village, where miracles are happening every day.
하나님께서는 이 땅에 수많은 사람 중에 오홍진 신부님을 눈여겨보시고 그를 선택하셨습니다. 그리고 꽃동네를 시작하셨습니다.
The 4,000 beautiful people in the flower villages of Umsang and Gapyeong and other places. They are gardeners sent by God to take care of one another and instill love in the minds of the people as if they were caring for delicate flowers. Their belief that it is God's grace that they are strong enough to beg will spread throughout the world, overcoming racial and religious differences. They didn't know before why fall was referred to as the season of gratitude. But they do now. By sowing seeds, watering sprouts, and watching them yield crops, people at the House of Peace finally came to see the joy of growing living things and to appreciate them. As Thanksgiving Day nears, people at the House of Peace are busy making songpyeon with this year's crop of rice. The season when everybody's rich in heart with tempting songpyeon and fresh fruits. Then you know it's fall. For a year, the Flower Village families have experienced the miracle of life through raising crops and looking after fruit trees. You reap as you have sown. Life is not only miraculous, but also honest. They now know why other people poured love and support into the Flower Village. They were like the apples on trees, born by love from the outside. They are grateful for everything. The snow is piled up and covered all of Kkottongnae under its white layer. It's the time of the year when every living thing starts to rest after the busy days of spring, summer, and fall. All nature seems to be asleep under the blanket of soft, white snow. People who could have starved or frozen to death on piercing cold streets can now prepare for their last day on earth with grace. Old Man Shea committed his whole life to helping poor sick beggars. Now Flower Village families carry on his spirit and donate their eyes or other organs before they cross the river of life and death. All they have is their own bodies, and they freely give. This love that spares nothing for the world that once turned its back against them is what they learn from the Flower Village. They give everything until there is no more to give. And we learn from them that life can be fulfilling only when you make others happy. The Flower Village's own poet, Bae Young-hee, is gone now, but her poems are still read by many and help them find the true meaning of a contented life.
건강조차 없는 작은 몸이지만 나는 행복합니다.
불과 성령으로 새로 나지 아니하면 아무도 하느님 나라에 들어가.
The belief that the lowly and the despised are also precious and noble within God's love.
영입니다.
The belief that anyone can bounce back from the deepest despair with the power of true love.
성자와 성령의 이름으로 세레나에게 세례를 베풉니다.
These beliefs are shared by all in the Flower Village. Shroud fabric shops at Kkottongnae. Miss Hwang-ok-hee carefully looks through fabric after fabric. She makes shrouds for Kkottongnae. Miss Hwang became a volunteer 10 years ago when she heard that the deceased without any family are buried in their old clothes. She has made over 2,000 shrouds with the help of an old lady who is over 80 who also volunteered. She prays stitch after stitch that the deceased of the Flower Village may rest in peace. Miss Hwang delivers 20 shrouds every 2 months to the Kkottongnae brother who's in charge of funerals. From the cradle to the grave, the people of the Flower Village are blessed with love from others. They may have been hurt and deserted by this world in the past, but now they can leave the earth more happily than anyone, knowing they will rest in peace with love from their neighbors and friends. In the end, a small plot is all you need to lay your body eternally. We must remember that blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The Flower Village is most beautiful during this time of the year. The Christmas Eve Mass for the baby Jesus. The baby Jesus came to the earth quietly among those ready and watchful, while others were asleep. He was born in the lowliest place and taught us unconditional love through death and resurrection. The love he taught us is brought to life in this Flower Village. Old Man Che, who dedicated his life to helping handicapped beggars, he was a living saint. When winter comes, Miss Kkottongnae at the nursing home misses Old Man Che even more. Several decades ago, he saved Grandpa Go, who was deserted in the snow and almost froze to death. Old Man Che's spirit of love will always be with the people of the village, just like the love of Jesus that has protected us for thousands of years.
얻어먹을 수 있는 힘만 있어도 그것은 주님의 은총입니다. 의지할 것 없고 얻어먹을 힘 없는 사람들을 위해서 지난 사반세기 동안 한 사람도 버려지는 사람이 없는 세상, 모든 사람이 하늘같이 우러움을 받는 세상, 이웃을 내 몸과 같이 사랑하는 세상을 위해서 우리는 꿈꾸고 살아왔습니다. 그동안 이 꽃동네가 있기까지 조국과 민족을 위해서 전 생애를 다 바쳤던 최기동이 할아버지와 함께 18명으로 시작한 꽃동네는 5천여 명의 식구로 이렇게 커졌습니다. 이렇게 사랑과 기쁨과 평화로운 꽃동네가 이루기까지 하나님의 사랑으로 이 꽃동네는 이루어졌습니다. 그리고 꽃동네를 사랑하는 온 국민과 은인들 그리고 꽃동네 특별한 우리 회원님들이 사랑의 결집으로 이룩된 것입니다. 대단히 고맙고 감사합니다. 하나님의 사랑은 불가능이 없습니다. 사랑합니다. 할 수만 있으면 저는 내 조국과 민족과 가난한 사람을 위해서 저의 목숨을 내놓고 바치겠습니다. 할 수만 있으면 꽃동네 회원 한 달에 회비 1,000원입니다. 한 사람의 회원으로 가입해 주십시오. 감사합니다.